Traditionally, I'd start one of my walks at a station, but we sort of are. But we're going to do some suburban walking and start properly somewhere else. So, see you there. There's indeed a lot to cover on this walk, and subsequently I'm skipping through some fine 1930s suburbia in my quest to get somewhere else. This is a 10-minute walk in real life, so I hope you're not getting sick at this warp speed. That's Osterley Park over the wall on the left, and we'll hang a speedy right into Thornbury Road. This is Osterley and Spring Grove Station, which was the old station here, and today we're going to walk to Boston Manor Station, but a long way round. I hope you enjoy the walk. But the old station here, called Osterley and Spring Grove, has now been turned into a mighty fine bookshop. We're entering the grounds of Osterley House, but let me just see, did I say what's upcoming in the video? Yep, I think so. Did I add the like and subscribe thing? Yeah, that's now done. Have I said where we're going today? No, not yet. So let's do that now and show what a ridiculously long way round this video takes to go between Osterley Station and Boston Manor Station. So we did this bit already, and this is what's to come. Osterley House, a visit to the village of Norwood Green, and a nice walk along the Grand Junction Canal. Osterley Park is a Georgian country estate. Originally dating from the 1570s, the main building, called Osterley House, was remodelled by Robert Adam between 1761 and 1765. The National Trust took charge of Osterley in 1991, and the house and park are open to visitors. Osterley Park was used as the Home Guards training site, where the real Dad's Army learnt guerrilla warfare tactics and the art of making explosives. In June 1940, 300,000 volunteers signed up to Britain's newly formed Home Fighting Force. Osterley Park was the site of their official training school, where a motley collection of artists, spies and war revolutionaries came together to set up the real Dad's Army. After training at Osterley, participants would go back to their own Home Guard and LDV units to teach them. At its strongest, the Home Guard was nearly 2 million men. The image that Dad's army gives it of being to do with knives lashed to broom handles only lasted for a couple of weeks until they started getting equipped. By 1942 they were a force to be reckoned with. We will now walk north out of Osterley. Its beautiful parkland has miraculously survived, even though it lives within a sea of London suburbia. And just over this wall was some of the Home Guard training site I was talking about. Osterley Lane is a bit weird, at least in this section north of the M4 it's still a country lane. But we're not in Buckinghamshire or Surrey, this is Hayes, 4 miles into London from Heathrow. I'm going to take this public footpath here to cut off a corner. There's a slight nod to urbanity in that this is a concrete path. Although this is a field full of crops, there's evidence of London over there. Looks like you can still buy a house in Hayes, which has a genuine view over countryside. These look older. Welcome to the former village of Norwood Green. Norwood Green is a modern name for an old hamlet called Norwood. We're at the borders of Hayes and Southall in the modern world, and this is quite an unknown neighbourhood if you're not local. On this walk I left Osterley Lane on the right hand edge of this map and walked along the footpath to the Plough pub, which I've marked with a friendly red circle. On the modern map I then got to Norwood Green itself, which is the furthest out of the way on a walk from Osterley Station to Boston Manor Station that I'll get. This is what it looks like now. This is what it looked like from the same spot in the year 1899. I'll mix in the 1899 Ordnance Survey map of the village of Norwood Green, and red circle again marks the spot. Back to the 1899 photo, the body of water was called the Dutch Canal, since filled in. But the reason I know it's called the Dutch Canal is because an unknown photographer, for an unknown reason, followed the antics of an unknown family in Norwood Green during the summer of 1899. The photographer produced dozens of plates capturing village life. I'll feature some of them here. I'm sure eventually that someone can update me in the comments section and tell me that they're not unknown at all. But for me, while I'm producing the video, all I know is that the photographer marked the location of each plate. For the next few minutes, we'll take a look at the village of Norwood Green in the year 1899. I'm going to take you north along Norwood Road to the banks of the Grand Junction Canal, and again the red circle marks the spot. Norwood Green was massively changed by the arrival in the 1790s of the canal. The Lamb Inn, for instance, was built beside the canal to cater for the passing boats. And here is a view over the bridge from the other side of Norwood Road. Let's move back now into the heart of Norwood Green. And back towards the Plough, where my modern walk took me to join Tenterlow Lane. The rest of the photographs are all based around Tenterlow Lane. This one is captioned as The Family Norwood Green. I don't know if these are all of the people who are featured in these photos so far. Finally, we move along Tenterlow Lane to the site of the modern roundabout. And this is where I'll pick up the modern walk again. I didn't film much along Tenterlow Lane, but it seemed to be a road of very rich houses which had replaced previous houses which were quite smaller than the new ones. But I'm going to take us up to the junction with Windmill Lane. Well, that's a fine view. And an intriguing old railway. Anyway, we're going over there, and a pass from over the road will take us down to the canal. Well, the weather turned a bit rainy, but that's Osterley to Boston Manor, and that was a long way round. Bit longer than I thought. 15,000 steps if you do that sort of thing. Alright, see you next time. I loved the cap I was wearing. It was an SGS 133 cap, and I obtained it after the Space Shuttle launch SGS 133 about 15 years ago. And I left it on the Piccadilly line on the way back. Oh well.